This podcast is for educational purposes only.
We break down science to help you understand your body, but we're not doctors, and this isn't medical advice.
If you have questions about your health or something doesn't feel right, always talk to a qualified healthcare professional. Welcome back to the Microdose, the show where we take big science and break it down into tiny, brain-friendly pieces.
Each episode, we zoom in on one idea, one system, or one what-if scenario to understand the science behind everyday experiences.
We're in Theme 1, the body under stress.
I'm your main host today, Rahima.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Casio.
So we're just gonna recap what we did last time. Last episode, we built the whole foundation of the amygdala, hypothalamus, adrenaline, cortisol, all the wiring behind stress.
And today, we're kicking off our What If series. This is where we take something your body does automatically and ask, what happens if the system suddenly stops working?
We're breaking the rules of biology just to see what falls apart.
Wait, so we're just deleting the panic button? Honestly, as someone who spends half my day stressed about integration of logarithms, that sounds like a massive upgrade.
It sounds nice, but before we jump in, a quick check, guys. When you're stressed, are you more of a fight, flight, or freeze person?
I'm definitely freeze. My brain hits the loading screen like a glitchy video game.
Oh, I'm flight. I'd be like sprinting away from all my problems. We all react differently, but underneath we're using the same biological stress system. Which brings us to today's question. What if that stress system didn't work at all?
I'm ready. Drop me into a situation where I should be panicking, but I'm not.
Okay, here's the scenario. Imagine you're crossing the street. You glance at your phone for just 1 second. And when you look up, a car's turning the corner like way.
In normal situations, your amygdala would slam the panic button. Your hypothalamus will activate the sympathetic nervous system, and adrenaline will hit your bloodstream like a shockwave.
But in this world, none of that happens. The amygdala detects danger, but the signal never triggers the emergency response.
So I'm just standing in the middle of the road looking at this car like a deer caught in the headlights.
Exactly. Your body sees danger and just doesn't react. It's like your emergency system is unplugged.
Okay, so I get hit by a car. Bad start. But what if I'm just at home? Surely being stress-free at home is better.
Not really. You lose your internal pressure gauge. Normally, when you stand up or move suddenly, your body has a micro stress reaction to tighten your blood vessels, and so blood just keeps reaching your brain.
Without that mini stress signal, you'll likely faint every time you got out of bed. Your blood would just pool in your legs. You're literally too relaxed to stay upright.
Okay, so stress is the reason I don't pass out when I go to the kitchen for a snack.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a fuel crisis too. Stress hormones tell your liver to release stored sugar when you need energy. Without that stress spark, your blood sugar would bottom out during a simple walk.
You'll be running on an empty tank with no way to unlock your own reserves. Plus, your immune system loses its brake pedal. Without stress hormones to calm things down, a tiny cold could trigger a massive body-wide overreaction.
So I'm fainting, I'm out of fuel, and my immune system is a loose cannon. This is a total hardware crash. But mentally, am I at least the most relaxed, productive person ever? Cause I'm never overwhelmed.
Actually, you probably never leave the couch. There's a psychological principle called the Yerkes-Dodson law.
It's a bell curve showing that our performance actually increases with a little bit of stress. That stress is what creates alertness. Without it, your brain stays in power save mode.
So that deadline panic that makes me finish my work is actually a feature, not a bug?
Precisely. You would have zero motivation to finish anything. You will also lose your social radar. The tiny sting of anxiety you feel when you offend someone, that's the stress signal. Without it, you'll be socially reckless because you wouldn't feel the consequences before you speak.
Does this actually happen to anyone, or is this just a science fiction nightmare?
Well, there are real conditions where parts of the system don't activate properly. Certain neurological disorders, extreme burnout or chronic fatigue, hormonal disorders, medications that block sympathetic activation.
Just note that we're not diagnosing anything, we're just showing how biology can vary. It explains why some people freeze under pressure while others react instantly.
If this system is so vital, why does it feel like it's trying to kill me when I have to give a speech?
Because you're the biological descendant of the worried.
Think about natural selection. If two humans heard a rustle in the grass and human A said, "It's probably just the wind," while human B's amygdala screamed, "Lion!" and they bolted, who survived to have kids?
B. I'm guessing B.
Exactly. The chill humans were filtered out of history. This also explains social anxiety. For an early human, being kicked out of the tribe was a death sentence.
Your DNA thinks a bad vibe from a friend is a life-threatening emergency. We also have negativity bias and we prioritize speed over accuracy.
What's negativity bias and speed over accuracy?
Negativity bias is when your brain treats one piece of criticism like an emergency alert and 10 compliments like silent notifications. Bad news could kill your ancestors, so your brain evolved to prioritize it.
And speed over accuracy is our stick versus snake logic. Imagine you see a long, thin shape in the grass.
If you stop to analyze to see if it's a snake or a stick, you're being accurate. But you might die if you're wrong. If you just assume it's a snake and jump away, you're being fast.
So my brain chooses being fast and wrong over being slow and dead.
Exactly, Caitlin. Mistaking a stick for a snake just makes you look a little jumpy. Mistaking a snake for a stick makes you lunch.
It's much better for survival to mistake a stick for a snake 1,000 times than to mistake a snake for a stick just once.
So I'm not weak for being stressed. I'm just a high-performance survival machine in a world that doesn't have enough lions.
Yes, exactly. Stress isn't about your body being dramatic. It's 1,000 generations of successful survival talking to you at once.
So looking at our team, the body under stress, I always thought stress was a glitch in the system.
Yes, Caitlin, it is. But what we saw today is that the stress response is the system.
That's right, you can't have the body part of the team without the stress part. One provides the hardware, but the other provides the power to keep you upright and energized.
So now that we've broken the system and seen why it's there, it's time to see if you can spot whether it's acting up in the real world.
Next time, we're putting you in the lab coat for the next segment called Crack the Case.
We're going to give you a patient scenario with clues hidden along the way. You'll have to use everything we've talked about, hormones and brain structures, to diagnose exactly what's happening.
Basically, think of it as a medical mystery, and I'm guessing I'm the lead investigator.
That's today's dose of science. Short, sharp, and hopefully something your brain can actually use.
If you want more episode teasers, follow us on Instagram at _the_microdose_.
We post fun posts, microfacts, and the things we can't fit into the episode.
Microdose delivered. Until the next dose, bye.
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 Bye.